Friday, May 16th. Thank you for being with us. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Oh, we missed you yesterday.
Well, thank you.
And I was explaining that you had a commitment that you had been, you had to be somewhere.
Yes, I did.
That's right. I'm not saying you were committed now. You had been committed.
As far as I know, I'm not.
Okay, all right. I certainly hope not. But anyway, glad to have you back with us today.
Thank you.
Well, today is NASCAR Day. I'm a fan of NASCAR. You
A lot
like
of people
racing?
are. I've been to one NASCAR race, and it was very loud.
It is.
Very exciting.
It
a lot
is.
of energy in the
Yeah.
air. That's not really anything that I'm passionate about, but boy, there's a lot of folks that are.
Oh, I'm telling you, that is so true. Today is also Bats Day.
As in
Bats.
a fly bat?
Fly bat, bats that fly. Not bats, but
I get it.
fly bats.
Okay.
And today's also Biographer's Day, Endangered Species Day, and National Pizza Party Day.
That's a good one.
I'm in favor of that.
Me too.
All right, let's see what all happened. The nickel is having a birthday today. The nickel was born in the U.S. this day in 1866. U.S. Treasury Department adding the nickel to the currency by authorizing the minting of it, a 5-cent coin on this day, 1866. Yvonne Craig is having a birthday. She played Batgirl on Batman on TV.
Oh, wow.
She's 77 today, and boy, she was quite attractive. 77 today she is. Pierce Brosnan, one of my favorite actors,
Yes,
is
he's very good.
61 today. Yes, Mrs. Doubtfire, Remington Steele, of course, a couple of Bond movies.
Of course.
He's 61. Olga Corbett, the gymnast, is 59 today. She's so cute.
Wow, 59.
59. Can you believe that?
No,
Olga
not at
Corbett.
all.
59 also is Deborah Winger.
Oh, yeah.
Midnight.
She was in Terms of Endearment and all kinds of movies.
Yeah, Urban Cowboy
Yes,
and Officer and a Gentleman.
Yep.
Where
Oh, that was so good.
what's his name? Richard Gere swept. Was it
Yes.
Richard Gere or Robert Redford?
It was Richard Gere. You're
Richard
right.
Gere swept her off her
Oh,
feet,
yeah.
off his feet, whatever. Janet Jackson having a birthday. Yeah, she is. Can you believe 48 years today?
Really?
Janet,
48?
little
That's
Janet
interesting.
Jackson. Isn't that interesting? Little Janet Jackson. She, of course, not only a major pop star, but also an actress as well. You know, she was on, what was that, Happy Days? Not Happy Days. She was on
No,
Good Times.
Good Times, yeah.
I know it was
She was
something
a little
happy.
teeny girl.
Good and happy. Yeah, she was so cute.
Good
those
and
those
happy.
big fat cheeks. Yeah.
So cute.
She was also on Different Strokes, and she,
Yep.
of course, was a member of the Jackson family, whom everybody loves.
She was a member, yes.
Yeah, well, she, named Jackson. She was Jackson.
That's right.
Anyway, what you
know,
got?
Last night was Center Street Jam.
I know.
The very first one.
Mhm.
Spare Change was
Spare
the band.
Change,
Everybody
yeah.
had a fantastic time. It was wonderful. So in 2 weeks we come back again, and this time it's the Blake Kearney Band, I believe.
Oh, really?
I believe
That's
so.
a local organization, and I hear they're pretty good.
They are. They have quite the following.
Quite the following.
Quite the
All right.
following, yes.
You know, we haven't talked about who's on today's program.
Well, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, you know, a few days ago, we talked with some folks out of the Wilson office of the Department of Health and Human Services. And they are with the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Division of the DHHS. Karen CAPPUTO, and I won't introduce everybody, but they were here in the studio with us, and we were talking about how their department has aligned with the Services on Aging, the senior center here. And they have got a great program, and this is a great interview. I hope you're able to listen to all of this. This is great. I want you to listen to this. Let's go to them right now, okay?
Perfect.
Today in the studio, we welcome our guest, Karen CAPPUTO, who's been with us before. Karen is with the Department of Health and Human Services, something to do with the deaf and hard of hearing, and I'll ask you about that in just a moment. Also, Carol Edwards is with us this morning. Carol is a deaf person. And Carol, thank you for being here. We appreciate your coming in this morning. And off camera, we want to welcome Holly Mayo, who is obviously a very shy person who does not want to be on camera, but that's okay. Thanks, Holly. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, where do we start now? First of all, tell us what you do, Karen. Remind us.
I am the Hard of Hearing Services Specialist with the North Carolina Division of Services for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
And you work out of Wilson County, is that correct?
We work out of Wilson County, but we do serve the 24 northeastern counties of the state, including Wayne.
How in the world do you do? That's a large area.
It is. We are on the road quite a bit.
And how many people do you service in that 24 county region?
That's a good question.
Thank
I
you.
should know.
I thought it up myself.
Yeah, I
Thank-
should know. It varies from month to month,
Mhm.
but there would be hundreds that
I'm
we would
sure.
see.
I'm sure.
So,
Very
and
good.
you should, that would have a question I should have been prepared to answer.
Well, I try to keep it simple. No.
We do serve lots and lots
I'm
of individuals and agencies as well, not just the individuals.
I'm sure it's hundreds.
Yes, sir.
Now, Better Hearing and Speech Month is May. Is that correct?
That is
all right.
correct.
All
That is
right.
correct.
Better Hearing and Speech Month. What are the plans to bring that to the public's attention? Is there anything going on that we need to know about?
We've been having lots of health fairs and different types of events throughout the month.
Mm-hmm.
We always are trying to encourage people every day, of course, to do something about their hearing because, you know, hearing is vital to life
All right.
and relationships. And so we just do a little more stress on that this month. So throughout the month, we are seeing different people in different arenas. Last week we had planned in Wilson actually an event called Are You in the Loop? So just different things that are going on.
Carol, are you deaf or are you hard of hearing? Is there a
I am deaf.
Deaf.
I was raised more on the hard of hearing scale. It wasn't until I went to college that I learned American Sign Language and really became identified as a deaf person because of learning the language and sign language, that is, and just being able to really embrace myself into the community. So that's kind of how I transitioned my identity from a hard of hearing person to a deaf person.
Now, when did you lose your hearing, or
I lost my
when-
hearing basically when I was 9 weeks old. I had the chicken pox, which
Oh
was
my.
high fever, really covered the ears and went into the ears and ruined the eardrum. So that kind of triggered the hearing loss. They did not find out until I was almost 2 years old that I had hearing loss. So that's when I got my first hearing aid, and from there is the history of hearing aid after hearing aid after hearing aid, speech therapy, auditory training, all of that until here I am right now.
I must say, I'm amazed at how well you speak, because when you encounter a person who can't hear, oftentimes that person does not have the speech pattern you have. You speak so well.
I'm one of the rare occasions, I must say. But don't judge everybody based on me, because everybody is different.
Yeah.
People with all the hearing losses, their speech pattern is going to be different, because it also depends on the types of training they may have gone through or the amount of hearing that they have. So again, it just depends on everybody and their individual.
Okay. Do you work outside the home?
I do.
What do you do?
I work in the Division of Service for Deaf and Hard of Hearing. I'm the Community Accessibility Consultant, and I work with agencies, 911, emergency services, all sorts of things to kind of bridge the gap between the hearing loss community of deaf, hard of hearing, deaf, blind, speech impaired, and then the agencies that serve that population as well.
Well, isn't that convenient? That's great. So what kind of speech therapy, how long were you in, or have you been in speech therapy to learn to speak so well?
That was more of my elementary years, all the way until middle school. I was pulled out of class for an hour or two every week to really go through rigorous training, and that was also included with the auditory training, so I had to listen to tapes and spout out what they said on the tape, and so that I got kicked out of that because I was doing so good in middle school.
Wow. Oh, that's great. So that's interesting. So where do we go?
Well,
Tell me about this.
I just wanted to mention, you know, Carol's talked about about all the auditory training
Yes.
and all that she's had to be involved with growing up. And so often, you know, with hearing loss being Better Hearing and Speech Month,
Right.
you know, people think I can get a hearing aid and that's going to make it perfect, and that's not true.
Yeah.
And true even with people get cochlear implants, you know, surgery that's $75,000 or more.
Right.
Even that, it requires a lot of more education and training when you get a cochlear implant or a hearing aid. Either one is going to require that individual to work to get used to the hearing aid, to get used to using a new cochlear implant.
what is available to people who are hard of hearing or deaf from your department or your agency? What's available?
We have a service through the state of North Carolina called our Equipment Distribution Service. And that Equipment Distribution Service will provide either hearing aids or telephones, which is to help people hear on the phone. So, you know, we do provide those services. There are some income criteria. For a person that lives alone, the income, I believe, if I can remember correctly, is $29,175 a year.
That's the top.
That's the top. If they make that and they live by themselves.
Okay.
So
that or less.
Or less,
right.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So anybody who have considered hearing aids but have said, oh, I can't do that because I can't afford it. Don't have the money, to pay that much money down, then they can call us and we can send them up for an appointment to talk with us more about that.
And I would guess or assume that if they're not living by themselves, that it works on a scale.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And for two, I believe it's, I almost hate to say because I'm afraid I'll quote it wrong.
No,
but
don't
yes,
worry about that.
It is very high limits. And
I'm going to put the phone number on the screen. 1-800-999-6828, and if anyone has any questions about any of the equipment or any of the services available, they can call that number.
Yes.
I'll leave that up there for a few minutes. It's 1-800-999-6828.
May I interject something else?
You interject all you like.
There is, we also provide telephones, so we do have a staff person that can bring into the home telephones that people can try, because maybe you don't know what's going to be best for you. So we do have a staff person that can bring telephones into your house, set several phones up, let you try them and see what's going to be the best. So if a person rather have a phone, doesn't need a hearing aid, then they can apply for the phone. And so there are options available.
So it just you suit the equipment to the person's needs.
That's exactly right.
All right. Now, how does someone use a telephone who can't hear?
For someone who's deaf, I'm going to let
Carol, how do you use a telephone, Carol? At home? Now, I know at work you have a lot of equipment set up.
do.
How do you use a phone at home?
At home, I have the same equipment that I used when I called you. I had the video phone relay service, and that is where I have a video screen that I can connect with an interpreter who is on the screen. They connect the call to the hearing individual, and they will visually interpret everything to me that the hearing person is saying. So really, we're having a conversation, but the interpreter is just interpreting between you and me, both auditorily and visually. So she'll be signing, he or she will be signing the message that you're saying to me, and then I would be signing back my response, and they would verbally say that to you so that you're hearing what I'm saying. There's many different ways that people can communicate. That's one of the ways. I have an amplifier on my phone that also will allow me to jack up the volume to a higher decibel level that's more than the regular standard phones. That helps increase the volume. There's caption telephone where you can have the words written on the screen and I'm just talking to you, and then what you're saying back to me would be written on the screen for me to read and follow and understand. So there's many different ways that people with hearing loss can use phones.
I think the other day you and I had a conversation on the phone. That was yesterday or the day before. I don't know.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
I don't know. But we had a conversation on the phone, and I was actually speaking with Holly.
You were speaking with an interpreter.
An interpreter, a person, who, as you mentioned, let me make sure I have this right now. They were on camera looking at a screen, and you were looking back at your screen to the interpreter.
It's basically like the same concept of Skype or, FaceTime with the new phones where you can look at each other and see each other on the screen. It's like that concept, but it's through an internet-based or something like that through your screen, like computer screen, TV screen, something like that. At home, it's a TV screen. At work, it's on the computer screen.
Wow. So if you're at home and you're on a TV screen, you got to have all your hair in place and all your makeup on, right? I mean, come on, really?
No, if I'm doing a direct call to somebody, yes, I want to look presentable. But if I'm doing it to the interpreter, I have my hair up.
Just an interpreter. It doesn't matter. There's a new partnership with the Senior Center here in Goldsboro. The Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center is a wonderful place.
Yes, it is.
Tell me about your new partnership with the folks out there.
We have a new mentoring program that we have are starting. Actually, the Goldsboro or the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center is one of our pilots.
Right.
And so we're just now getting started. In fact, I was there this morning and delivered the book for the mentor who will work with individuals.
Wonderful.
The mentors are for people who are new to hearing aids, just gotten hearing aids, maybe they're feeling a little uncomfortable, they want to talk to someone who has been wearing hearing aids for several years, and they want to talk to somebody, maybe not their audiologist. The mentor's not there to fix their hearing aids or do any adjustments, but maybe they just need to talk to someone, or they have questions, and so it's someone they can go to locally. So we are looking for mentors, and so
okay.
if there's someone that's watching that would like to be a mentor, we ask them to call the Senior Center, or they can call me, either one, and we'll...
Again, 1-800-999-6828, right?
That's correct.
And ask for Karen or Carol.
Actually, Karen
Ask for Karen.
or Aaron at the Senior Center.
Oh, Erin. Well, she's at 705-1785. Erin McAuliffe, our good friend.
Exactly.
919-705-1785. Or call Karen CAPPUTO in Wilson at 1-800-999-6828, right?
That's
Well,
correct.
congratulations on your new partnership with the Seeger Senior Center. We just love that place.
Yes, it's wonderful.
And especially since a lot of us are way over 60. Anyway, of course, you won't know anything about that.
Ha ha.
But tell me about the, let's see now, we have, before we get into equipment and hearing aids, I wanted to ask you, do you at all get into, do you work with people who are, who have yet to lose their hearing, who are perhaps suffering an illness or a sickness, who may, who are aware that they are losing their hearing? Do you help these people or advise them in any way?
Well, when people know that they're losing their hearing, you know, hearing loss is not, there's a wide range. You know, there are people who have mild hearing loss that really don't need benefits from hearing aids or devices yet, just have a little mild loss, to people who have severe to profound hearing losses.
Right.
So, but there's the whole big range in between, and that's the group that I work with mostly, people who are hard of hearing. And if people are starting to lose their hearing loss and they need some tips on how to, you know, what to do, we of course always encourage people to talk to your doctor first.
Right.
And that's always
Absolutely.
the place to start. But, you know, often people need more information than what the doctor gives you because they're doing the medical part, but there's a lot of social and psychological issues related to hearing loss as well.
I'm sure.
And we can talk with them on, you know, some of those, provide some communication tips.
Okay, now before now, were people having to go to Wilson, or were they going somewhere to receive this help? Of course, now they can go to the Seeger Senior Center.
Well, actually, you know, I've been working with the agency for over 20 years myself.
Have you really?
I have really.
Wow.
And, you know, we've always traveled to Goldsboro. People have never had to be required to come to Wilson for services. So, but several years ago, we actually did start a hard of hearing group here that meets here in Goldsboro.
Oh.
We meet at the Peggy Seeger Senior Center, and we have a group of about 8 to 10 people that get together, and we talk about hearing loss and hearing loss issues.
Wonderful.
So that's, you know, there are opportunities for people to come to that. We'd love to have you join us. If you're interested, give me a call.
Now, most of the activities at the Senior Center are for those who are above 60 years of age. 55 years, that's what I meant to say. 55 years of age. Is the hearing group or the hard of hearing group, is there an age limit?
No, anyone.
That's anyone.
Anyone is welcome to come to the hard of hearing group meeting. We actually have several of our members who come and are not. They're more like 35 or 40.
Is this a regularly scheduled meeting?
Yes, for the most part. We meet the third Saturday of every other month. So January, March, you know, the odd months.
Right.
They're not odd to us. We're not odd people, but Actually,
Well,
that's the opinion, right?
that
But actually, in this particular month, Carol is going to be there next Saturday.
wonderful.
I am.
Wonderful.
I
And-
will be there talking about getting ready for the hurricane season, emergency preparedness,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of the things that go into that.
Yes.
Emergency kits, being prepared for weather alert radios and things like that to help you be alert and ready for an emergency to come.
You know, this is a big problem just for the residents. It's for everyone. A big problem is preparing for hurricanes and dangerous weather this time of year. Hurricane season starts June 1st. And it has to be extremely important to someone who is deaf or hard of hearing.
It is.
To prepare. What is the difference between someone who hears and someone who cannot hear in preparation for storms and bad weather?
One of the biggest and the most notable differences is in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Somebody's asleep. How are they going to know that an alarm's going off to say that there's severe weather coming? Nowadays, people have their phones that have the alerts to come through, the emergency alerts. With the deaf and hard of hearing community, there's a weather alert radio. And that radio has a bed shaker that goes underneath your mattress or underneath your pillow, and a strobe light that can attach to it.
Wow.
And this will help kind of alert. Because I'm very sensitive to light. I can wake up to light in a heartbeat. And my bed shaker, I can snooze through that a little bit. But with a light, I'm awake in a heartbeat. And I'm like, what, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for a person who has no hearing or little hearing loss or anything like that, it helps them know that they can wake up and be able to look at the device and say, is it a warning, is it a watch, is it an advisory, anything like that. They'll know how severe the weather is, and then of course you have to use the resources that you have, like the TV or your internet service or maybe even your phone, to find out what the weather is, and then based on that take action.
Right. Okay, good. Okay, well, since you mentioned the equipment and the things that are available, tell me about the equipment and hearing aids available.
And we've talked about that a little bit already at
Yeah.
this point, but you know, some of the services that we have, the equipment that we do have, Carol mentioned the bed shaker for the weather radio.
Yes.
We have, in addition to the amplified phones that we have, that the staff person, her name is Diana, can come out and see individuals, bring her suitcase full of phones into the house. In addition to those, there are also alerting devices to let you know when your phone is ringing. So people can apply for devices that will flash the lamps in their house, or they can get louder ringers. There are also louder ringers for cell phones. A lot of people have trouble hearing their cell phones ring. They take them out of their pockets, they stick them up on the counter, they're far away, so you can get louder ringers for your cell phones. There are devices that we sneak it in, kind of. Actually, it's included as part of the equipment distribution service.
Okay.
So in addition to the hearing aid or the telephone, people can get alerting devices. That one piece of equipment will flash the lamp for the phone and for the door.
Oh.
So a lot of people don't hear people at your door. I've been banging on doors myself and personally at houses, and people never know you're there. So.
What about the cost of these devices and this equipment? Is any of this covered by any insurance, or is it part of the, is help given by the state, or how is it paid for?
Well, again, all of these services are under our equipment distribution service that has those same income limits that we talked about earlier.
Right, $29,000.
$29,175.
$175.
So if people are not eligible for the service, we still provide services to individuals, which is important. You know, just because you're not eligible for that service doesn't mean we aren't going to provide services. We just provide them in a different way. We can still come into the house, bring the phones, or sit down with you and talk about your hearing loss. We have great information for people who are going to purchase hearing aids, checklist of questions to ask so that you're an informed, knowledgeable consumer of hearing aids. And then for people who want to buy phones and those types of devices, then we can provide them with a list of companies who sell those devices.
Okay. Division of Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Is that close?
That's good.
Okay, that'll do.
That'll do.
All right.
good.
Karen, we're out of time. Carol, it's always great to have you.
Thank
I want you
you.
to come back again sometime.
certainly
You're a
will.
great guest. Karen, you're a great guest as well. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions at all, look at the number on the screen. It's 1-800-999-6828. Go to their website at www.ncdhhs.gov, and then you'll need to go to another page beyond that for the hard of hearing and deaf and hard of hearing. But it's been a very, very interesting conversation, and I thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back. Now, see, I told you that was
Yes.
going to be a good interview. Lots of great information there, and I really appreciate those folks coming by to talk to us. Thank you. Well,
It is time for what this weekend?
let me guess. Relay for Life.
Yes, Relay
All right,
for Life.
all right.
That is huge in Wayne County.
It is enormous.
We always have a very good turnout.
I know.
You participate as well. I do too.
Yes, yes, you do. And I have the honor of being one of the MCs tomorrow night at
Wonderful.
the. I'll be doing it tomorrow night, and then after I am on stage there as an MC, Kurt Keller will come in. Save the best for last. He will be the MC tomorrow evening. Always looking forward to that, and of course it's certainly a wonderful effort on the part of citizens of Wayne County to work with Relay for Life.
It is.
And you know, you're right. We are one of the biggest
Yes, we are. And, you know,
fundraisers.
we want to
for-
invite people, you know, if you haven't been before, or if it's been a year or two since you've come out, come on out, enjoy, walk around, do some laps, you know, just show support, your support
Mm-hmm.
for cancer research, cancer awareness, and you know what, all it takes is just grab a person that your family member, friend, come on out, spend some time with others, because you know, there's so many people that are suffering, their families are suffering.
You're so right.
And you know, it has hit our county very hard, and we want to continue to show our support, and this is one way we can continue to do that way.
I've spoken with several oncologists over the past several years, and one thing is definite, and that is almost everybody
Has been touched.
has been touched in some
Oh,
way,
yes.
either by a member of their immediate family or by being a victim of cancer themselves. So this is very important. Cancer research is important, and if you can be a part of it, come on out to the that place out on 117 South. What is it? The fairgrounds.
Fairgrounds. I believe that's still the name, right?
Well, yeah. Okay.
You know,
right.
Wayne, it is absolutely beautiful when they light all the luminaries.
I know. Yeah.
And that is really a special few moments when they have the opening ceremony,
Yeah.
and all the luminaries are lit, and it's just very reverent.
It is. It's very special, and I hope you're able to attend. And if you cannot attend, well, it has to be a good reason. But if you cannot attend, please remember and think and pray for those who are victims of cancer or family members who are victims of cancer, and maybe you can make a contribution. That'll help.
And tell them what's going on at the Arts Council tonight.
Oh, is that tonight?
That is
We
tonight.
have. Oh boy, we've got. I lost it. It was right here just a moment ago. It's all about the
Wayne
jazz.
County Jazz Showcase.
That's
What's
right.
going on.
The jazz thing.
That's
yeah,
right,
man.
From 7 to 9:30 at the Arts Council of Wayne County.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
They can enjoy some jazz performance. Let's see, what else can they do? I believe there'll be some
Enjoy
drinks.
some jazz.
That's right. There'll be some
yeah.
drinks and
Oh,
all kinds
will
of
there?
beverages there.
Yeah, drinks and beverages
Are
and
you going to repeat everything I
and
say
enjoy
today?
some jazz. I'm going to repeat everything she says.
He's my echo today.
I'm an
That's
echo.
right.
I'm an echo. Anyway, I
Wow.
guess that's about it.
I believe it is too. It's
Woo.
time to head on out to Relay for Life.
That's right. We're going to head on out to Relay for Life, and hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Today's Friday. That means we'll be back in here Monday.
Monday morning, bright
Join
and
us
early.
at 7 o'clock or join us at noon or 5:30 p.m. for repeats of the program. So until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.